Amanda Ripley, in her book, The Smartest Kids in the World and How They Got That Way, creates some interesting challenges to the American system and opportunities for us to think about. What Miss Ripley did is she interviewed a series of American teenagers who spent a junior year abroad or senior year abroad in various school systems that are high performing, in particular South Korea, Finland, and Poland. And they found that these schools, those countries were all outperforming America on the PISA, which is the international exam. And what she found there is that the schools there were more rigorous, they had higher expectations for the kids, and the kids were responding. School was meaningful and demanding and very difficult to succeed in, but the systems were all supporting student focus on the work. They also found that the teachers in those countries it was very competitive to become a teacher. It was difficult to get into schools of education, and it was difficult to find a job. Therefore, the background of the teachers who came in were much more stronger than across the United States. One of the things, though, we have to consider in this book is that in these relatively small countries, is very different than comparing the United States as a whole. In particular, if you went state by state, there are states who are underperforming in the world, and there are states that are high performing. So Massachusetts, if it was a state on its own, would be the second highest country in the world. And so I think before we have any policy changes, we have to recognize one of our biggest challenges is that American educational policy, particularly K-12 policy, is determined state by state. So each change has to go through each state. We're seeing this in the problem of instituting the Common Core, where states are feeling they're being imposed upon by the federal government. So it's hard to compare our results to other countries who have federal systems for governing the educational system. And so that's one issue that we have to address. So I think we have to look at the states that are succeeding, and in those states we are providing rigorous education with high expectations, and it's often very difficult to get a job teaching in those states. So the quality of the teaching core is managed through a competitive process, the same as it is in Finland, the same as it is in South Korea. And the other issue that I think we have to recognize is that in those other countries, the difference between a teacher's salary and that of an engineer or a physician is not the huge gap. So if we're really going to make real movement in the American education system using what was found by studying our international peers, is yes, we have to have high rigor, we have to have high quality teachers in every classroom, and we have to make it an attractive job for American students who are in college or contemplating college to become teachers.